What's good? It's Sam here. Make sure you go press that like button right now. And I wanted to briefly have a discussion about China's new social credit score. So in China, they have a social, and this is supposed to be implemented across the board in China. So for their 1.3 or 1.4 billion people are all going to have a social credit score. Similar to like a FICO score here in the United States, where it's capped out at 1,000, but it's not just your monetary behavior, it is your social behavior too. Where, and when you think about it, because we're not used to thinking about it in such a manner where jaywalking can hurt your credit score, or smoking in a non-smoking area could hurt your credit score, or paying your taxes late could hurt your credit score, or going to get a cat out of a tree for an old lady can increase your credit score, or where your credit score is too low, you can't travel, you're not allowed to take the train, you're not allowed to buy real estate, your kids can't go to private school. All these are potential effects of a social credit score, among just a few of the ones that have jumped out to me, but there's so many different effects. And then you contrast that with the way that we do that in the United States, where a high credit score allows people to get maybe a lower interest rate, or insurance companies, or the what we do here is very similar in a sense to how China is implementing it. Not that one way is right or wrong. How could you say that the government would be able to dictate how I choose to live my life, and whether that's right or wrong? That's up for debate, but it might seem discriminatory what they're doing, and we've been doing that for decades and decades here in the US, whereas if you have a low credit score, you can't buy a house, or you pay higher insurance rates, or you don't get a job. I mean, so how is that any different, you say? You know what I mean? They're just factoring in more things in terms of determining somebody is trustworthy. Just some thoughts on that. How do you think would be a better way to determine if somebody is trustworthy or not? Should it be based on society normal, like the normalcy of how somebody chooses to live their life? So somebody is ridiculed or looked down upon for living their life differently than somebody else, potentially? I don't know. What if you don't want to be a part of that system? What if you don't choose to live your life that way? And you're restricted in what you're allowed to do? I don't know. Both here and in China, it doesn't necessarily. I don't know. I don't see myself potentially staying here in the United States, like in the long term. I definitely appreciate all the opportunities that I've had, and wouldn't ever change anything, but maybe there's a better way. Maybe there's a better place, and the world's a big place. There's, a few hundred countries. Why not go to a different country and see how they do it, and see if it's a better way? Just because society here in the United States, or wherever you're decile, tells you that your way is the right way, and how other people do it is barbaric, or whatever the case is, that doesn't mean it's accurate. Why don't you go there and experience it and see if that other way is better, see if it is more fulfilling in terms of your life. I don't know. It's interesting to see the rationale for coming out with a social credit score in China is the purification of society. Now, just that phrase sounds like Big Brother in a sense. That I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but they're how they're able to do that is they've got like almost 200 million cameras across the country set up to monitor people, and they used facial recognition. Just for example, say for jaywalking, or smoking in a non-smoking area, the camera can see who that is, and then what they will do is they might broadcast that on other monitors around to shame that person. I don't know. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That same shaming might come in the form of not being able to get a job here, and it's hidden from the views of society here in the United States because you have a low FICO score or credit score here in the US, and you're unable to get a job because of that, or you're unable to get housing because you don't have good credit. Like, it's not that much different to say add in multiple more factors. I mean, I'm just curious to know what your thoughts are on how this will play out, or the goods and bads, because when you contrast it to what we do here in the United States, it's very, very similar. Make sure to press that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the other side.